Welcome to week 4 of the Lenten morning meditations. I'm going to start by relaxing, coming into this present moment. Breathing in and breathing out. Letting all the distractions fade away. And this week we're going to focus on Judas, the Judas part of ourselves. I want to start by dropping preconceptions about this part and the instinct to see it as evil and reject it. And instead, we're going to give it a clean slate and reflect on this part with an open mind and open heart. Breathing in and breathing out. So the Judas part of us is hungry for love, greedy for love, desperately wanting attention and validation. Wanting to be seen as smart, important, valuable. But this part also has a kind of self-loathing, a sense of unworthiness, and a kind of deep insistence that not feeling loved is the fault of other people, even though deep down it rejects love. You can feel this part is kind of gnarly in yourself. Part that demands care and attention, but actually feels humiliated by love, by real unconditional love. Because that love agitates the self-loathing. It makes it worse. And so this part, when it encounters generous, expansive light and love, it feels agitated, unworthy, humiliated, even though it longs to feel loved. That love just reminds it of how unlovable it feels. And unlike the Mary Magdalene part, which faces this self-loathing, which lets it burn until the burning subsides and the love is cooling. This part resists that feeling, hates that feeling, and it lashes out. Blaming the source of the love for that ashamed feeling. This part is convinced that the source of the shame and sense of humiliation is the source of love. The Christ, love, and light inside. And yet it also recognizes that that part is God, and that it's powerful and meaningful. And so it has a deep conflict of wishing to lash out against that love, and also feeling ashamed for that impulse, knowing that the love is good, that it's God, that it's righteous. And this cycle of shame and blame, of feeling hurt and angry, and lashing out, feeling ashamed and lashing out, it digs a hole of despair. The Christ part longs for this part to let itself be loved. You can feel that this part, if it doesn't change its course, leads to self-destruction. It seeks out the authority and the power of Caiaphas to feel powerful enough to try to force the love source, the Christ source, to be different, to force it into some shape or form that feels comfortable for the Judas part, that seems familiar. External authority, power, prestige. Those things make more sense and feel more safe to the Judas part. So it seeks out a source of power to try to strong arm the love, light, Christ energy in you into one of those forms. The Judas part totally believes in death, does not believe in resurrection, does not understand that it can be resurrected, that the Judas part could be resurrected, reborn if it allowed itself to come apart, to be remade. And so it thinks that it has contributed to the real death of the love. And it is so ashamed that it tries to destroy itself. Because it doesn't understand. That there is no real death at the level of the soul. So feeling this Judas part, feel how its story can change. That if this part accepts death and resurrection like Mary Magdalene, that it can let all of the shame and self-hatred and anger and fear die. All of the impotent rage die. It can be reborn simple and able to receive the love it so longs for, able to soak it in and feel it can feel this part and offer it a new choice, a different path. And have compassion for the hell that it creates for itself by demanding love and rejecting love, demanding attention and then feeling humiliated by it, by all the impotent rage of trying to control the love into a form that it can feel and accept. And hold it in the compassion of the Christ consciousness, knowing that the story doesn't end, even at its self-destruction. For the part of it that is good is eternal. It will come back to keep learning until it understands death and resurrection, till it can embrace those deaths which give it new life. Breathing in, breathing out. And bringing that warmth and compassion into your day, that reality of the power to shift course, knowing that no matter how deep and dark and angry, stuck in negative cycles parts of you are, they can always change. And when they can see themselves with honesty instead of shame, they can transform.